Well on top.
So ball not quite coming out of the centre square yet. Baker's in there for Tullamarine. Gets a handball away to the Dr. Becker. He goes to the attacking side of centre. Drop chest mark. Tate now picks up the ball. Attack is one-on-one. Bacopoulos over the back. Good spoil by the Glenroy defender. Bacopoulos charges out to the top of his attacking 50. Big pack forms. And the umpire will call for a bounce 30 seconds in. 5-8-38 Tullamarine. 5-4-34 Glenroy.
It's been a scratchy kind of a game, fellas, but I'd say at this particular moment, Glenroy look a lot more organised. Tullamarine look a lot more organised, especially going forward into this breeze.
Tate into the wind. It's again going to bounce. Wind takes it away from Bacopoulos. He was trying to claim a holding free kick. Man burrowing in with his head over the ball. They want a high tackle. Umpire says it's a ball up. Glenroy were hailing cabs for holding the ball, and we'll have a bounce at the top of the goal square. And this is probably the first stoppage of the day, that close to the goal at the Aquatic Centre end. Ball comes down. Tate with a snap. It's high, and it is holding up and squeezes in for a behind. So the first score after 1 minute of the second half is a snap to Tate, and it means that Tullamarine 5-9-39 leading Glenroy 5-4-34 by their highest margin of the day, 5 points.
And yeah, look, it's going to be very interesting for Glenroy now. They need to be very pure with the footy. We speak about that often, and that's a massive kick from inside the square.
So Julie's kick from the goal square ended up on the wing as soon as it pitched, and then it ended up at half forward after it bounced a couple of times. That was a monster from Trav Julik, but Tullamarine get possession back. A little kick from Adam Sayers wide. That's a turnover. Mark taken. I think it might be Ethan Hope out there who's got it. So just repeating, Glenroy without Keegan Shrimpton nor Aaron Kite in this second half. Ball goes inside 50. Even if Glenroy get up, they could have massive ramifications on their premiership aspirations. There's a right foot snap from Carruthers, misses. Minor score for Glenroy. They go to 5-5-35. Tullamarine 5-9-39. 2 minutes played.
Now, I don't mean to put the cart before the horse, but could Kite be precautionary? Because if he plays now, he definitely wouldn't play next week, as opposed to risk not playing him now, but he would be able to get up for next week. Matt O'Connor.
Well, look, he was their goal kicker into the breeze. So, look, at the end of the day, there's not much point being right for a game that you don't qualify for. You've sort of... You've got to put all your eggs in one basket and win the game of footy first. And if you're lucky enough to be fit to play in it, well, then that's the team you pick. But at the moment, for mine, I'd make sure that we're in a grand final before I'd start worrying about resting blokes for it.
And great news for Aberfeldy. Werribee have kicked 8 goals in the second quarter. They lead Essendon VFL 9-8-62 to 6-2-38 at half-time. Of course, Aberfeldy with potentially 4 players' availability riding on that game.
If memory serves me correctly, it was Werribee that was struggling in the first quarter. So... as a shot is missed there for Glenroy. Another minor score. They go to 5-6-36. Tullamarine 5-9-39.
Shrimpton hasn't come back out on the bench. Cronin, interestingly enough, who was outstanding in the first quarter with the breeze, has started on the bench for Glenroy. Kite, as we said, has got the heavily strapped right hamstring after kicking that beautiful play-on goal in the second quarter.
So into the breeze. Let's see if Tullamarine have actually been able to implement some new tactics. Neither side particularly smart going into the wind, and Sayers loads up and goes to the outer side. 50-metre kick, got the distance. Is it going to be able to come to their advantage? Steele at the fall of a big pack. Gets a handball away and then is pushed over for his trouble. Glenroy first hands. They're just going to bang it forward. Campbell long and directionless. Through for another tumbling point. They're doing it in ones, but they are moving closer. 3 minutes gone. And Glenroy are 5-7-37, trailing Tullamarine 5-9-39.
Bench for Tullamarine at this stage looks like it's Delaney, McIntyre, Doyle and Daly.
Sayers to himself and then to the broadcast wing. Foot got her hands on the ball, and at the fall of it, I think that might have been Colin Laurie who went down the line with the left foot ball. It was Simmons, in fact. Ball on centre wing up for grabs. It was overrun there by Lockie Smith and hacked forward in the end for Tullamarine, but now Faulkner's got to duck and weave away from a couple of tackles. A little chipper kick along the ground. Ball claims it, and then Dean Simmons claimed him straight away.
He did. He ducked his head and he was taken sort of high in a bump, but that's because you ducked your head, so there's no free kick for that particular instance. But Ben Faulkner, if you can't hit a target over 12 metres, son, you've got a lot of problems. But it looks like number 19 is the bench there. So at the moment, the 2 fit players for the Glenroy team are Cronin and we've got a 19 who doesn't exist.
Gordon Hilston.
Hilston is the other player there for Glenroy.
So it's out of bounds on the full here, and I think it's going to be a Tullamarine ball. It's still on the broadcast wing. Dean Simmons will take it as Big Lance Fintler just makes a bit of room as he goes back to take his kick, and that's going to be carried by the wing. It'll stay in play just out of play.
Sorry, Adam, I thought it might have been off the shin of Tate there. If it scrapes your shin as it bounces out of play, you're very stiff to be given delivered out of bounds.
No, it'd just be on the full, though. It almost went on the full, so...
Ball will be thrown in. Boundary umpires doing a power of work this afternoon. Tap comes down from Morrison straight to Baker. He's buried. Umpire says high tackle. So it is going to be a Tullamarine free kick, and they are battling well into the wind. And a bit like the first quarter, the umpires are paying a lot of frees to both teams. In the second quarter, it did ease up a bit. Ball goes long over the head of Pacopoulos. He's herring back after it towards the forward pocket under the aquatic centre. And the ball is out of bounds 30 metres, but it's a long 30 metres away from the Tullamarine goal. This stoppage, crucial here for Glenroy to try and get out of their back 50. Here comes the boundary throw, and it's a low one. Low little dart, tapped back towards the line. Pacopoulos like a bull. Couldn't throw the ball on the boot, just lost it. Glenroy come away with clean possession of the ball, and they are going to escape their defensive 50 through Nilsson. He kicks it to the advantage of a teammate. It's going to sit up nicely there for Scaberis. Arches the back, takes one bounce through the middle of the ground, runs his full 15. Chip inside forward 50. Carruthers reached out with his left hand and couldn't pull in the grab. He was at full strength, but Tullamarine will get the clearing kick.
Ball just hovering around that 50-metre arc, and Simmons was there. Little left foot ball for Laurie wasn't great because Woodhouse was coming from behind, and so was Gilliland. Tullamarine still hot onto the ball. The support came. Now Laurie's finally going to get that possession he was after. Had to go by hand to Burns. Was he taken high? Yes, he was. Free kick right in front of us, and he retaliates a little bit with Matty Baker. It was a high free kick. Not happy about it, Jack Burns, and he'll claim this one.
He's been excellent since coming back on from that knee problem. Had a lot of the ball.
That left knee is taped up a little bit. It's a kick up towards the wing. Gilliland got her hands on the ball, but Justin Marcy read it well. He's done this a couple of times today.
Oh, Johnny Tate has been smashed.
Tate's been down, put down behind player right there, Mocker. Yeah, he's hurt, Johnny Tate, as Marcy just mucks it up in the ends inside 50. Chain of handballs ends up with McShane. He goes to Julik. Over his head, it is a mark to Dean Simmons. Johnny Tate up and about.
Johnny Tate was coming in to separate the Justin Marcy again, and Danny Campbell just come from nowhere and, basically sat him down quite quickly.
He'll be involved in this contest if it does come to ground. That doesn't know Blair Cronin takes a mark. Glenroy can rebuild.
John Tate did special comments with us for one game last year, and I've got to say that if not for the 350-odd games of footy, he'd be a much better-looking man. He has been hit numerous times out there on the footy field.
No, he's a fairly ugly unit, Taylor. It's not going to matter how many games of footy he's played. That's another conversation. Good tackle there. Really strong stuff now, and it looks like there's a bit of venom in this game.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why O'Farrell felt the need to go.
The umpire's going to pay a free kick, and rightly so. She's right there. Amy McQuaid is doing a fantastic job.
Now, this is a situation where coaches are surely telling their players that this is being filmed. There's a grand final spot up for grabs next week.
Woodhouse was the man at the bottom of the pack, and I have no idea why O'Farrell decided to lay one into him after the ball had already been whistled dead. Somehow Tullamarine have come away with it.
And he's been sat down after
the free, and it's going to be a downfield free kick because the man there from Glenroy, Dennis, decided he wanted his pound of flesh and just bowled him over as well. In the meantime, Tullamarine have broken clear. They get a rare goal into the wind. You watch the fight, I'll watch the footy. Ball's gone inside forward 50.
Danny Campbell's been reported.
McIntyre with the pass into the pocket, and a chance here for Pacopoulos. Brings it to ground, wants his right. Little Banana dribbles it through. No, it held up on the line.
And the ball's coming in towards the direction of that brawl.
Which is dissipated. The fight's over, fellas. Umpire's called for the blood rule.
All of half a metre, and if not for the wind, it would have bounced through for a goal. But Pacopoulos' kick comes up short. I wasn't watching the fight. It was all Tullamarine on the outer side of the ground while the fight was going on the broadcast side wing. Mocker runs through who hit who.
Right. Basically, it was a fairly good tackle, which was a little bit, got a little bit aggressive afterwards. The umpire's come in to pick the ball up for the bounce. Free kick's been paid to the Tullamarine player there. I think we said it was O'Farrell, number 16. He was the bloke that got the Tullamarine bloke there. No, it was Steele. He got the free kick, and Danny Campbell's gone on with it. There's a few little spot fires, but he's thrown one of the better ones that you'll see, and right in front of the umpire who's done the right thing and asking for his number, and he'll have an appointment Tuesday night. I'd have no doubt on that one.
So Adam Sayers has chipped it into Lockie Smith, who's going to have a shot in the shadows near the aquatic centre.
This is a tough kick. He'll be lucky to get a point.
Much like the first quarter, the first goal of the third is taking a while to come by. We've played 9.5 minutes, and that is going to miss heavily to the near side. Lucky to even register a score. That one off the boot of Lockie Smith. As I said, no, it was goalless so far in the third quarter. 5 goals apiece so far in the game. Tullamarine leading this one by 3 points. 5-10-40. Glenroy 5-7-37.
Well,
No scoring, but very interesting game of footy.
And I made the point in the second quarter that behinds aren't bad. It's just a tough day to score, full stop.
Yeah, the more you score, the greater chance you've got to win it.
Take the points. Take one. Ball on the half-forward flank for Tullamarine. They got the ball in the middle of the ground. Now a chip out to Pacopoulos. He just bullocks his way through, throws it on the right boot. It's a 2-on-1, 25 metres out. Mark for Tullamarine. Beautiful grab.
Well done, Adam Scott there. Was out of position, really was paid attention to the ball. The Glenroy defenders there were half watching the footy, half watching the player, and you've got to make a conscious effort to pick one or the other. They picked the wrong option there, and in this particular instance, from directly in front, it's not a guaranteed shot at goal by any stretch of the imagination, but you'd be pretty disappointed if you missed it.
He's gone back a long way because I suspect he'll want a decent run at this, so he ensures that it goes through, kicks it from 25, 30 metres out, and it's wide to the right through for a point. So even directly in front with the man on the mark 20 metres out, it is hard to kick a goal out there today. Tullamarine 5-11-41, Glenroy 5-7-37. We've played 11 minutes third quarter. No goals in this term.
Julik to himself, one wave in the other, ran into a brick wall, had to go by hand to Skiberis, who has to get around Pacopoulos, and he was under pressure, and he's been pinged. He got rid of the ball, but I guess prior opportunity, and John Pacopoulos is going to have a shot 25 outside angle.
Look, same distance as Adam Scott was a moment ago. If I said Adam Scott, sounds like a golfer. But anyway, same. Adam Scott had the kick before. He's been unceremoniously dumped. The players have come from everywhere.
They're going on.
Pacopoulos goes in and kicks a goal, and it's going to be an all-in here at the.
Why on earth, when you have a
Coburg
guy
City
on the
Oval?
ground, would you keep going on with it? That is utter stupidity. He's on his back. What could he possibly be saying to you that merits then charging and going in after him when he's already... Whoever has done that deserves a win.
Back with the foot. Glenroy are going to struggle to have three blokes in the middle, and they have two in there as rovers. One of them's watching the fight. Free kick's been paid in the forward 50 to Tullamarine. This is really, really undisciplined stuff. Lance Wicknell at quarter time says we need to be hard, but we can't be stupid. And at the moment, they're not being hard. They're being really, really ridiculous. It's they're throwing away an opportunity to play in the grand final, fellas, and this is really, really disappointing.
So let's clean this up. John Pacopoulos kicked that goal, and then the brawl ensued. So the score at the moment, 5-11-41. 6-11-41. Glenroy 5-7-37, and John Pacopoulos is going to have another free kick, this time on a tougher angle.
He was having a wrestle with, I believe it was, I'm going to say Julik, because he was a very tall defender that he's had to wrestle with. I'm not sure, and he's got his back to it. Could be Baker, I'm guessing. Had a wrestle with him. McIntyre was in there as well from Tullamarine. So we can't see because it's too far away, but he's ended up with a free kick and has a shot from 35 out.
So Tulla currently lead by 10. Pacopoulos' kick will go across the face and stay in play. Tate's underneath it, got claimed straight away in the tackle. Ball up in front of the scoreboard. So just repeating the score, 6-11-47, Tulla, Glenroy 5-7-37, 12 and a half, nearly 13 minutes ticked by.
And it's Tullamarine's game-high lead. First time they've been in front by double figures. First kick out of the pack, Glenroy. Ball is spoiled down, top of the 50 for Tullamarine. Sayers comes in, takes it, little dinking left-footed kick over the top. Strugnall's there, chasing after it. Just outside the centre square. He's going to turn back onto his right foot. Chip high, held up in the wind. Good grab by Delaney. In fact, turning around there is not Delaney, it is Foot, and he is going to look to send it inside forward 50. He's almost bang on the centre square after coming back over his mark. He sends it high into the dead aquatic centre pocket looking for Pacopoulos. He's been the target numerous times today. 50 metres out from goal, ball tumbling towards the boundary line. Eventually it's socked back into the field of play. Struggle, put his head over the pill and almost got it taken off. He'll get the free
kick.
Crowd starting to get... Lance Whitnell's thrown the whiteboard there on the sideline. The umpires have been red hot in this quarter.
Needs to really control his players here. Get the runner out amongst them and start
Delaney,
saying, let's play footy.
Got to take the free. Kicks it long. It bounces through the top of the goal square with the wind. Glenroy coming out the other side.
Yeah, that's a deliberate point because he's handballed it through.
He was under pressure, though, and I've got to say, giving up behinds on a day like today, not advisable. That makes it 6-12-48 to 5-7-37. We've gone 14 minutes, third quarter.
Are you allowed to handball the ball through for a point even if under pressure? I didn't think that was a rule. But anyway, it's a point, and Julik's going short into the what would be the right back pocket.
It's a glorious Sunday afternoon of EDFL Finals football as the 46ers just shared this one around by hand, ends up in the hands of Cronin. Went wide as well, and they've got a man in the middle in Borg. It goes in direction, takes the mark. Got put down afterward as well, but nothing in it from Neil McIntyre. Borg goes up towards half forward. He spotted a target. That was Ethan Hope. His opponent lost his footing in Adam Sayers, but Hope, ball just eluding him. Now he's got two to beat in Smith and Sayers, and he almost does. Got tackled at the last moment, got the ball out. Glenroy are going to go inside 50. Short kick, Carruthers takes the mark. He's already got 2 from the first quarter. Can go back and kick his third and get Glenroy back within a kick.
Really, really important goal for the Glenroy Footy Club. They've really been off the boil at the moment. They've been worrying about the wrong sort of thing. That's playing the man and not playing the footy. So for Carruthers to have this shot at goal, it is from one of the tougher angles. I reckon he kicked one from about the same spot earlier. And to nail this goal will be very, very important for Glenroy.
He's only about 10 metres in from the boundary. Man on the mark is 40 out from home. Right foot kick.
Goal umpire has moved.
He kicks it.
Goal umpire
started celebrating as soon as he left the boot. And it's a goal for Glenroy. That's their 6th. They go to 6-7, 43. Tullamarine 6-12, 48. They've been quite wasteful, the Demons, so the margin is 5 points. Nearly 16 minutes gone into the third.
But again, as we made mention earlier, Adam, I reckon being wasteful on a windy day like today, kicking into the breeze, they've had more of the footy. They've been the better side for most of the day, other than maybe a sort of a 12-minute patch there in the first quarter. They've been the better side, and they have looked more organised and more structured. Glenroy needs to sort of be a bit purer with the footy. I reckon I've said that about 10 times, and I'm going to keep saying it till they do it. So
3 for Carruthers. Tullamarine trying to get first hands out in the middle. Campbell is there battling for Glenroy. Ball comes out to the wing. Eventually it is Becker who conjures the ball not into his grasp, though. He just ended up tipping it straight to Carruthers. He throws it on the right boot. 45 out from goal to the top of the square. Tullamarine have got the numbers. Men staying down. Doyle gets the handball away. Sayers left foot round the corner. Looking for a man there in Marcy. He's in the back pocket trapped. Tullamarine under the pump here. Dangerous handball almost into the goal square, and it's rushed desperately through. 4 are behind. Steele had no choice, and so through for a point, and Glenroy now their turn to press back in favour. They go to 6-13-49. No, sorry, they go to 6-9. 6-8-44. I'll spit this out eventually. 6-8-44, trailing Tullamarine 6-12-48.
Sayers has had the kicking in duties for the entire game for Tullamarine. Went to the outer side, kicked to a 2-on-1, but Doyle couldn't take the mark. He's forced to do his own roving as well. Did well to get the hand pass out in the end to Will Geyer. Little kick comes out towards the wing. Chasing it down there was Tanner Nilsson, but it goes out of bounds and we'll have a throw in outer side.
So if I told you that at the 17-minute mark of the quarter, Glenroy would have kicked 1 goal with the wind advantage, you would have thought that the wind might have died down. But if anything, it looks as strong as ever out there.
And no real winner from that particular ruck contest. It's at left half forward at the moment for Glenroy, but Tullamarine starting to just assert their control on this one. Sean O'Farrell's kicked it and go all that far. It's coming back inside 50. Tulla have numbers, but from behind, going up and giving away a free kick. Makatich. It was definitely there. He does have a little chat with the umpire, but it was like definitely there.
Brian, that highlight reel of Brian Taylor on the footy show there, the way he went at the umpire.
No, look, he did get both hands in the back. He did get up very high, and it was the hands in the back that gave away the free kick, not the unrealistic attempt. But he, got a bit of a vertical, bit of a vertical leap there, which was good.
High ball from Marcy, and again, Tullamarine does look like they're getting more numbers to the contests at the moment.
Played a kick.
Spot a kick, has he?
Yeah, it was either that or it's going to be out in the full either way. So it's just gives them 5 or 6 metres more ground to play with.
So Glenroy ball, Scaberis to send it in long.
High to the square, and waiting at the back is Carruthers, and he snaps it through for a point. Well, he maybe didn't know how much time he had, perhaps expecting another Tullamarine defender there, but he was in fact closest to goal.
Maybe he didn't see Adam Dennis standing next to him. He could have just flicked the handball to either. But he gave him the obligatory, look, sorry, mate, I didn't see you, which is amazing because the fella's wearing a red jumper.
So 6-9-45, trailing 6-12-48, 3-point ball game. And we're 19 minutes now into the third quarter. Tullamarine in the back pocket. Hinnanen high and wide. Bit of a helicopter outside defensive 50. 2 Tullamarine players spoil each other. Can Glenroy capitalise? No. Burns is at the bottom of the pack. Snaps it around the corner. Chasing after it and taking the grab just inside the boundary line is McShane. He comes back in board and he's got Borg. And now Borg is wheeling onto his right foot in the centre square. Goes to about 30 metres out. And Tullamarine first hands. Doyle then in second. Jack in the pack. Now ball comes out. Here's Woodhouse snapping on his right boot round the corner. Can't bend it back far enough. And it is across the face and through for a behind. So Glenroy again doing it in ones. We've got 19 minutes in this quarter. 6-10-46. Trailing 6-12-48.
Great work by the scaffolding tower there for the VFL games. Stopping another ball, making its way into the bowling club.
Sayers yet getting one short. Mark taken by Doyle. Goes long towards the outer side again. Simmons was one-on-one with Julik and it goes out of play.
Rotating heavily is the Tullamarine Footy Club. They've obviously got the players that they can do that with. Glenroy, on the other hand, haven't been able to rotate anywhere near as heavily. They did lose a bit of time having to strap Danny Campbell's ear, which was bleeding a little bit after that altercation earlier.
They've got Billy Morrison waiting to come on at the moment at the gates. The ball's on the other side of the grounds at left half forward for Glenroy, and we'll have another ball up. And guys, you are right about the wind. It looks like it is getting stronger. The trees are usually a good guide here at Coburg City Oval, and they are moving through quite heavily with that wind at the moment. The ball goes deeper inside 50 for Glenroy, but again, Tulla have the numbers back. Doyle, a high kick, and that's going to hold up, and there you go. That's again the wind, but Tate is in the right spot.
Another small bloke taking a chest mark in a contested situation doesn't just amazes me. And as a country boy, Adam, trees don't move; they sway with the breeze. If they started moving, you've obviously been having far too many alcoholic beverages at half time.
And
certainly right, Mocker.
Tate waved everyone out towards the outer side wing. No faking as to where he was going to go, just went for territory, got 35 metres, but the ball went out of bounds on the full, and now Glenroy driving back inside forward 50, trying to spot up Carruthers.
Yeah, great call.
Pushed in the back, and the free kick is going to go against Tullamarine. 35 metres out, tough angle.
He kicked the last one from here before, almost the same spot as his last shot at goal. But I will say that the Glenroy the Tullamarine defender there in that particular instance was Geyer, and did everything possible to spoil the footy, but it's just in the landing that he lost his footing and just rode Carruthers into the ground a little bit more than what he wanted to. Did try to get the hands out to protect himself, but to no avail. Good call by the umpire.
So he's got 3 for the game, leading goal kicker on the ground and trying to put Glenroy back in front. Carruthers with the right foot, swinging it back right to left.
He's mastered that shot on goal from that angle.
And it is perfect. Through for a goal. And Glenroy, in time on of the third quarter, have hit the front. 21 minutes we've gone, and they are 7-10-52, leading Tullamarine 6-12-48. 2 in the first, 2 in the third. Carruthers has got 4 for the afternoon.
Yeah, it looks like Gillian there, the Glenroy player there, and the Scott Gillian has come down. He's getting some work done on his calves. He's got an interesting sort of taping mechanism on his right calf as well. But he's getting some heavy work done. He's done a little bit of work in the ruck, and it's.
And they're already one big man down as well, Glenroy.
Yeah, so Matheson's had to go in the ruck as the forward player for Glenroy.
Woodhouse tried to get the ball moving forward, but there was a lot of congestion in front of him, and the ball just held up in the end. Scabera's hand passes it inside 50. Laurie read it well, took a bounce, and hand pass went out wide. Strugnall lost it. He spent it before he got it. Tackle was laid on him by Hillsden. Lance Whitnell wants a free kick on the Glenroy bench, but instead it's a Tullamarine ball, and Strugnall's going to take it at left half back. Interesting to see as well that Aaron Kite, that's out of the game, is holding the clipboard there with the matchups for Glenroy, helping out Lance Whitnell on the sidelines. There's a free kick for Glenroy here on the broadcast wing. It's going to be taken by Blair Cronin. No, it's coming back.
He just wanted the ball for Baker. I reckon he's got the free kick there. Delaney's man in the mark tightly.
Matty Baker's been quite good today for Glenroy. Up towards half forward. Borg had to come from a couple deep. In front of him was Adam Sayers. Caberas to Borg. Hair passing in board now. Cronin through traffic. Becker was laying the tackle on him, but threw it inside 50 to Rush. Sean Doyle was there. Tulla can rebuild.
And so he's in the back pocket. 40 metres
should
out.
go backwards to Tate, just kill a bit of time.
Goes long, round the half-back flank, high up and under Woodhouse. Is able to spoil it out of bounds for a throw.
Scott's been pretty much catching everything that goes forward. He's really disappointed with his effort there. Got hands on the footy, but it was a good spoil there by the Woodhouse. I think it's the Glenroy defender.
And the runners quite close to this contest as well, coming from the Tullamarine bench. So in comes the throw. First tap comes down Glenroy's way and wrapped up in Tullamarine hands. Big tackle there from Hillsden. And so it will be a ball up. We're into time on of the third quarter. Only the 2 goals kicked in this, 3 goals in fact kicked in this term, so we're not expecting a long one. 24 minutes gone. Handball out from underneath the pack, can't be taken cleanly there by Smith. Out towards the boundary line and tumbled over for another throw, true wing position.
It's going to be some really, really sore Tulla bodies. Recovery for this side, if they are lucky enough to win the game, is going to be very important. As you said, injury concerns for the Glenroy side if they can make their way through, but it's been a really, really ding-dong battle today.
It's on centre wing. Next goal is vital in this one. 4-point lead in favour of Glenroy. Strugnall went in head first. He was claimed straight away by Julik. A ball up will result.
A little bit of MMA sort of stuff there. The great man Matty Pilios would have been loving that sort of grappling manoeuvre that allowed Strugnall to leave the ground and then be sort of tackled strongly.
In the shades of those trees that Mocker kindly told me that don't move.
No, they just sway, brother. The wind moves the branches. The bottom part of the tree stays still. And if it doesn't, then we're in a little bit of a bad way because there's a tree right next to our box.
It's about 5 stoppages in a row now, and the ball's moved all of 10 metres.
Just coming from the ground quickly is Burns, limping sort of heavily now. I reckon he's that knee's starting to lock up a little bit.
Another stoppage. So this is good for Tullamarine. They're tying up the ball, and look at that, Glenroy trying to open it out, get some players in space.
The ruck duties are being shared as well between Woodhouse and Julik, and the former gets a free kick here.
Yeah, Marcy's given away a free kick for a shepherd in the ruck because he actually blocked the bloke who he thought was the ruckman. And he actually was a ruckman, and you can't block the ruckman if you're not the ruckman in the contest. So
Woodhouse went looking for Morrison. Hinnanen's going to pick it up for Tullamarine, but got tackled, couldn't get possession. Oh, he got possession but couldn't dispose of it. Ball up as the umpire crosses her arms in the hot spot for Glenroy. They lead by 4 points, 25 and a half gone.
Again, no players in the attacking half of the ground for Glenroy, for Tullamarine.
Ball comes out, Glenroy got the set, Campbell round the corner, right foot snap, it's bending back, and it will fall on the goal line. Dropped by Tate, didn't fumble it through for a behind though. Runs 10 metres round the back pocket and then kicks it out on the territory. Has he disguised it well enough?
No, out on the full, boys. It clearly went over. The umpire was right on the scene there as well.
Just cleared the boundary line, so it's going to be Glenroy ball, 50 metres out on the boundary. Kick will come from 55. Oh, sold some candy there, Scaberis. Now runs to the top of the 50, takes a bounce, weaving one way then the other, doesn't want to kick it. Quick handball off, tumbling kick inside forward 50 from Jose. And Adam Sayers gets a spoiling fist on the ball. Out of bounds next to the behind post. 26 and a half minutes gone. It's Glenroy 7-10-52. Tullamarine 6-12-48. 2 goals to 1 in this third quarter.
Both have the same last name, playing for opposite teams. I wonder if they are brothers, and if they are, I wonder if Mum's here watching today or Dad's here watching today and who he'd be barracking for.
Adam Scott gets the big fist down, but there was no teammates there. McShane had it and lost it. And surprised this one is still staying in play here. I thought it was going out. Doyle might just take it out. Does now. Ooh. Ethan Hope applied the pressure.
So big pressure here on these.
It was backing away there, and he just couldn't quite step back over the boundary line because momentum just kept keeping him in. Did well to get it over the boundary line in the end.
We're in the shadows of the 3/4 time siren. It's Glenroy by just 4 points. Tulla will have the scoring ends in the final term, and in the last couple of minutes, the wind might have just died down a little bit. Tree's not swaying as much.
Well, there's no one outside the defensive 50 here. All 36 at this end of the ground.
Chance here for Campbell, who grabbed it, but got grabbed himself straight away. Another ball up.
How do you reckon the third umpire standing at the top of the Tullamarine 50, 150 metres away from the action's feeling now?
Well, look, we'll have a chat to Dylan McKibben, the umpiring expert who's on the EDFL show, and ask him, about the positioning because he'd be doing his job quite well.
Glenroy working it sideways and backwards, and they finally get some space to work with, and the mark is taken by Jaden Borg, who will throw the grass up, Matthew Lloyd-esque, and assess his options for the shot. We've played nearly 28 minutes. A goal puts Glenroy 10 points up. But we've seen a lot more behinds and goals today. So even a point could well be handy, as has already been discussed throughout the day, as Borg spins the ball in his hands. It's a walking, very slow approach to goal. On the siren, I think I heard the siren, not sure. The kick's on its way and misses. And it's a point in the end. There was no siren. I must have heard a car horn instead. Minor score for Glenroy. They go to
7-11-53 to 6-12-48. 5 points the difference. 28 and a half minutes gone. So siren time not far away. Tullamarine trying to hold on. Sayers left foot out of side. 48 metres the kick. Ball off hands. Now taken by Delaney. First hands down. Just kicks it back into the corridor. Glenroy takes possession at Woodhouse. Handball off. Goes into the corridor now. Nilsson inside forward 50 to Morrison on the lead. And the first time today we've seen any space for the leading man in the corridor. And Morrison takes the mark. Former Jacana Jr. And he will line up 25 metres out, almost directly in front.
First time that we've seen a Glenroy forward being able to present clearly at the footy too, especially in the corridor. So well done by Billy Morrison.
Wastes no time. Coming in for goal. Kicks from 30 metres out. And it's drifting, and staying inside the right-hand post. Morrison kicks an important goal, gets Glenroy out to an 11-point lead late in the term. 29 and a half minutes gone. Glenroy 8-11-59, Tullamarine 6-12-48, and that's Morrison's first of the afternoon.
Some of the Tulla boys are there calling for the score review, but unfortunately we're the EDFL, not the AFL. A couple of letters off, and we don't have that technology, so you can ask for that as much as you like. It's not going to happen, but really good presenting there by Billy Morrison. Good little bit of a flick around the back across the arc there by the Glenroy Footy Club, and lace kick hits Billy Morrison, who goes back and converts.
30 minutes have now ticked by into the third quarter. Foot one to tap. There's a bit again happening off the ball.
Yeah, throw on Delaney there.
Yeah, he come through very hard and took body beautifully.
It's Glenroy by 11. They'd like a slightly bigger lead than that. Tullamarine have the scoring ends in the final term. Laurie Whitwell took the mark at centre-half back and might just slow things down a little bit. Decides to kick towards a broadcast wing. It's not a overly great kick. It's certainly put his teammate under pressure there in Rob Hall. That went out of play, throw in right in front of us in the broadcast position.
Wasn't an exact kick, but in the end, not a bad result. Kills a bit more time.
Umpire brings this ball in, tap down again, one by foot, but no real clearance for Tullamarine just yet. Now it comes out for Justin Marsden. There's no one home, so he just banks it 50 metres forward.
There is no one in that half of the ground, so the umpire was well within his rights to pay deliberate. There was no player in the attacking half of the ground for the Tullamarine Footy Club. So if he was kicking to someone, he's obviously got some form of concussion because there was no player there at all.
Well, he wasn't going to go anywhere else, so perhaps probably fair enough that it didn't go deliberate in the end. He would have to go down the line anyway. Kick goes up towards half forward now for Glenroy. Geyer had one hand on the ball. It was read better, though, by Campbell when inside 50. That kick's cut off by Sean Doyle.
So Doyle kicks it to the top of defensive 50. He's got a teammate there bouncing away from Scott. Just goes after it now, ridden into the ground. Good tackle there by Collins, not paid. Tullamarine trying to come away. Doyle again been prominent in this entire game to Hinnan, the big unit. He kicks, ball's been smothered, almost falls to Steele instead. Glenroy getting in the way. Handball intercepted though, and now Burns gets the kick away into the centre square, just bouncing, going for territory. Glenroy coming back in the other direction. I think that's Nielsen coming through. Kicks it long over the head of Carruthers, and just too short for Morrison. And standing right in the middle is Tate, he picks off the ground.
And he's shorter than all of them again. Another short man taking a chest mark.
We keep saying that those turnovers for Glenroy just killing him. It did last week against the Northern Saints, and at certain stages today, they've just There's Simmons, who got his hand on the ball as soon as a three-quarter time siren went. So 1 to go in the Essendon Ford Division 1 prelim final. A spot in the grand final against the Northern Saints is what is at stake for Glenroy and Tullamarine. With 1 quarter to go, it's Glenroy 8-11-59, Tullamarine 6-12-48.
Really interesting last quarter coming up, fellas, for us here. The question is the 11-point lead that Glenroy have going to be enough, especially seeing as they're going to be kicking into a fairly substantial breeze? I would have thought it was a 5 to 6 goal breeze at the start of the game, but no team has been able to kick that many, obviously, as we see one of the Northern Saints footballers who are obviously coming down here to have a look at the game today, walking around the boundary in some very, very bright shoes. But really good game of footy, and going to be a really interesting last quarter.
So at quarter time, it was a 21-point lead in favour of Glenroy, and Tulla got themselves in.
Northwest FM taking you back to the EDFL Match of the Day.
Welcome back to Coburg City Oval. It's three-quarter time in the Sunday edition of the EDFL Match of the Day on 98.9 Northwest FM. There is 1 to go in this one between Glenroy and Tullamarine. The winner to play the Northern Saints in the grand final next week at Windy Hill. Glenroy 8-11-59, Tullamarine 6-12-48. Tullamarine are going to have the scoring end. Glenroy are just about out in their positions. Tullamarine have just dispersed from their huddle. Matty O'Connor, we know Glenroy are undermanned. Going into the game, they were heavy favourites, but right now this one is as good as 50-50.
Yeah, no, look, it is. But in saying that, at the moment, Glenroy, they do have the lead. So Tullamarine have to kick a score they've got to kick 2 or 3 goals to win the game of footy. That's the first one, or a hell of a lot of points. They they've got a full complement of players to pick and choose from at the moment. That's Tullamarine. Glenroy have got 2 injuries with the man that comes on the EDFL radio show, the kicker to me, Aaron Kite. He's a very good forward, but at the moment he's sitting there with a large pack of ice strapped to the right hamstring. They've also lost their starting ruckman in Keegan Shrimpton as well. So, they're going to be pretty much under the pump. Their huddle was nowhere near as tight as the Tullamarine huddle there. I know that Ash Manning was furious at half-time with how quickly they turned the footy over and how they weren't able to convert opportunities last time they was kicking with the breeze. And for mine, it's going to be a matter of who can control the footy the longest. Straight away, we've seen that Glenroy looked to have at least one number behind the footy, and a player in that particular instance looks to be Baker. It looks like Cole Laurie he's put himself forward as what would have been the spare defender for Tullamarine.
Final term underway. Coburg City Oval, a spot in the grand final up for grabs. Skillyland tried to get the first clearance and the ball was just stripped out of his hand. Ends up with foot inside 50, underneath it in the spot. Nicely reading it was Matt Baker. And Glenroy will just rebuild this one off half-back. The kick holds up in the wind. Bearers nearly took the mark in the breadbasket, though. Had to go down and get it. Little dinky kick and towards a boundary line. It finds it. And we'll have the throw in right in front of the broadcast area near the Glenroy bench.
If Dinky's code for deliberate kick to the boundary, then it's exactly what he was trying to do on that particular occasion there, young Jake Piggott. And he found the boundary beautifully. Got a boundary throw in here almost on centre wing on our side of the ground.
So it's a heavy wind blowing towards the right of your radio dial. The City end, the Bowls Club end here at Coburg City Oval. Tullamarine are kicking into with that wind and are down by 11 points. But Glenroy get the first inside 50 for them of the final term. And Cronin's up in front of Gaia here. Plays a bit of soccer. There's Cronin, and he kicks the goal.
Fantastic goal there by Cronin. He was one out there, one-on-one conversation there in that particular instance with Gaia. Gaia lost the front position, had the front position in the marking contest. Cronin paddled it once along the ground by foot, and then from almost in front of the right point post there on the scoreboard side of the top end of the ground, he's just kicked it off the ground, and without even looking, he's just shoved 2 hands in the air and turned around and danced to his teammates. That's just beautiful footy, Adam.
It was a goal good enough to perhaps book himself a ticket to Brazil next year. That's how good it was, and he celebrated in style as well. We're back in the middle. Glenroy leading this one by 17 points.
Great
and
tackle.
Hands are up and about, holding the ball. Free kick for Campbell in the middle of the ground. So Glenroy started this one hot in the final term. Kick went looking for Borg, couldn't take the mark. Sayers a little kick off the ground, won't go far. It's going to be picked up by Alistair Collins. Goes over the top looking for Borg again, but it eludes him. Goes out of play, 60 out from home.
Yeah, out on the full there in that instance. I'm not sure exactly what Brenton Faulkner was thinking there. All he needed to do was bend over, pick the ball up, and he was away, but instead he kicks it off the ground, turns the footy over, and lucky enough gets it back.
Kick comes towards the wing for Tullamarine. They need a goal, they need one quickly, but there was Faulkner for Glenroy. He's kicked it and go far. Ended up in the hands of Simmons. High one up towards half forward. There was no one there for Tullamarine that time. Slipping over at the wrong moment, Bakopoulos. Glenroy get the kick out towards the outer wing. They've got some numbers here. They'll pick up the ball. Campbell, when he brought by hand, Scaberas. He was under pressure. There's 2-on-1 here in favour of Tullamarine, but the ball will get locked up. Good result. No high tackle. And a free kick is going to be taken. I think it is Scaberas.
Glenroy, who I thought were probably going to be gone in this quarter. I really do think the Tullamarine are going to be the side that can run over the top. They've started so much better. It's almost like they're kicking with the breeze. Obviously, they've got a preliminary final to lose, but they're playing like they have nothing to lose today.
We've gone nearly 3 minutes into the final term. A high kick inside 50. And Borg nearly took the mark out the fall of it, though. I think it was Ethan Hope. Another goal to Glenroy. No, it's coming back.
Paid the mark, I think it was.
Apologies for that. It looked like it was a mark. Borg was claiming it.
Yeah, no, definitely claimed the mark as he was in the front spot. Got 2 hands on the footy. Ball was sort of punched out late. Picked up there by the Glenroy player who I think you said was Borg, and he went back and slotted it through for a goal, but he's been asked to come back and have another go at the footy there. So good umpiring, good playing correct decisions. We'd like to see that. Well done.
We haven't really kept the stat today, but I dare say there has not been back-to-back goals kicked towards the Aquatic Centre end all day. Glenroy could be about to do that to make the margin 23 points. Jaden Borg, kick is on the way.
Yeah, likes it.
There's
the
locals are happy.
Yeah, the natives are getting restless to the left of our box here. It's a sea of red and white, which is the Glenroy Football Club. Just up past those are the Northern Saints boys, and they're sort of ominously looking on. I think they might be playing the Glenroy Footy Club, but that was a really good goal, and he watched it all the way home. That was the first time a player's had a shot at goal and not celebrated straight away. He sort of had the hands ready to go and did so. Well done, good mark, good goal, well played.
4.5 minutes, and the old red rocket pocket is up and about now for Glenroy. We're back in the middle, and Tullamarine are desperate for a goal. We've only played 4.5, and they'll go inside 50 here, Tulla. It bounced nicely into the hands there of Sean O'Farrell, who got a little chippy kick forward, and it ends up being a mark. I think it's Doyle that's got it. There's a man down behind play as well for Tulla. After he kicked it,
O'Farrell just got a little tap there after he kicked the ball, but it was a clever piece of play there by O'Farrell. Could have done what everyone would like to do, is just go back and bang and go back and have a big shot there, big snap from 45, but instead he just went a little dinky kick over the top and hit Doyle.
So just for the quick reply for Tullamarine, Doyle likes it off the boot, gives it a clap. A goal for Tulla. And they are still in touch in this one. 7-12-54. Glenroy 10-11, 71, 5 minutes ticked.
Good mark by the man in white there behind the goals. One of the spectators wearing thongs too. Risky thing to do is try and take a catch behind the goals there in thongs on the Bluestone steps. But yeah, great piece of play there by O'Farrell, just to chip the ball over the top to Doyle, who dived forward and took a nice little mark. Then he goes back from directly in front and does what good forwards does and converts.
Prelim final football on a Sunday afternoon on 98.9 Northwest FM. The pressure is as high as it's going to get. Foot had the ball bounce off his shoulder, and he's trying to get the clearance as well, but he can't pick up the ball. Kept chasing it though. Good effort in the end from Dale Foot. Tulla do get the clearance in the end. High ball O'Farrell and Doyle. Doyle spoiled it in the end. Kick doesn't really go all that far towards a broadcast wing. Hadn't lost it there, did Hillsden. Now picking it up is Jack Burns, who does well to get it on the right foot. High ball to underneath. A good mark taken though by Matt Baker, who's been quite good today, especially across half back.
So 17 points up. Do they keep attacking Glenroy, or do they start trying to defend? That's going to be the question. And at the moment it looks like they're still trying to attack. They've gone long there to the Glenroy player in Woodhouse.
Heath Woodhouse. High ball to half foot. Skiberis, is that a mark? High contact, doesn't matter. And he'll get the ball here. And pass over the top as well. Ends up in the hands. He's been put down again here, Skiberis.
Yeah, the non-controlling umpire has actually paid a free kick against Skiberis. He's paid a free kick against Skiberis. It's going to the Tullamarine players. Yeah, maybe it's one of those awkward ones where... Okay, no, he's pointed the wrong way. He's pointed to the Glenroy player. We're a little bit of confusion here. There's two trainers there dealing with Skiberis on the ground. The non-controlling umpire has come in and he's indicated with his right arm pointing to the northern end of the ground, which means it's a free kick to Tulla. But it's going to be a free kick to Skiberis, as we sort of first thought. Looks like it's going to be taken by Tanner Nielsen. But yeah. Skiberis is still in the hands of the trainer as Nielsen takes his kick.
It's only about 10 metres away from Nielsen as well. Goes inside 50. Glenroy would love a mark. It's sharked well, though, by Julik. Travis Julik! Left foot misses. That could have almost been a nail in the Tullamarine coffin had he have kicked it. And they go to 10, 12, 72. Glenroy, Tulla, 7-12. 54.
Keegan Shrimpton has rejoined the bench, but he's in club uniform with the Glenroy polo top, so he's definitely not taking any further part in the game. The ice has come off the hamstring there of Kite, but no good there, I don't think, with him either.
Nearly 8 minutes have ticked by. Ball's on the outer wing. Glenroy have got it. It's in the hands there of, I think it was Sayers. High ball inside 50. Cronin's underneath it. Still got the fist on it. Simmons was there to claim the ball for Tullamarine. A long and direct ball. Bacopoulos underneath it, but out the back. O'Farrell's going to chase this one down. Getting there first, though, for Glenroy was Jake Piggott. No room to work with, and I think it went out of play. Throw in just forward to centre wing for Tullamarine.
Well, they've done most of the attacking in this quarter. It's only been going the 8.5 minutes at the moment, but they have looked a much better side in the last quarter.
It's up for grabs on centre wing. A little kick forward for Glenroy. Clears the initial contest. Adam Dennis been a bit quiet by his standards today. That time got out in front of Hinnan. Hair pass over the top. Found Alistair Collins. Glenroy doing all the attacking as Collins took a bounce. Went inside 50 with the kick. Borg again the target. Couldn't take the mark. Woodhouse got a hand on it. Can he go off the ground?
He has.
He can.
And he does.
It's a Glenroy goal. I think it was Gordon Hillsden that kicked it. And Glenroy have 1 foot in the door at Windy Hill.
That's you're spot on there, Adam. They've been really, really good this quarter. They've played a different sort of brand of footy. They've been much more clinical in the way they've gone forward. They've been able to hit targets. They've been able to be controlled with the footy. They've really controlled their aggression. And it looks like there's an injured player coming off the ground for Tullamarine. As we made mention, they do only have the 2 blokes to rotate on their bench, but that hasn't been an issue at this stage of the game with only 9.5 minutes gone.
It's Jack Burns that came off for Tullamarine, and the tape from his left knee is gone.
Back in the middle, looks like a Tullamarine clearance as they're going inside forward 50.
Becker trying to find Pacopoulos. He's in front of Faulkner, and he ran out of room as well. Goes out of play, throw in. So the scoreboard reads, it's 78 to 54. 24-point lead in favour of Glenroy. 11-12, 78, 7-12, 54. We've played 9, nearly 10 minutes into the final term. Glenroy have just about booked their ticket to Windy Hill, but Tulla did come back from this sort of margin in the second term. They did trail by 21.
Free kick there to Tullamarine. It's been a hold the ball decision by going against Glenroy, and it looks like it's going to be Scott taking the kick there, but he won't turn around and show us his number, and he's on the far side of the ground. Release handball there.
It went to Laurie, I think it was, inside 50. Underneath it, Smith came very late as well. There's a chance here for Tullamarine getting his hands on the ball, then he got tackled straight away. It was Neil McIntyre.
It looks like there's a Glenroy player down on the ground there, but he's bounced up. He's got a bit of a sore head, and he won't turn around and show us his number either. Little fella there for Glenroy.
It's in the hot spot.
He's got the footy now.
Tulla need a goal, and they need it now, and they're not being given much room at all, as you would expect.
To the Borg or Faulkner, depending if that's a 1 or a 7, but he was the one who got smashed there by a big, strong attempt to mark by Cole Laurie.
This game is being dictated now by Glenroy. There's about 20 minutes of action left in this one, and they need more than 4 goals to get in front. 11-12, 78, 7-12, 54. That's the deal for Tullamarine. And trying to go through traffic, Cronin couldn't in the end, and Campbell got his hands on the ball, slapped it back out towards the middle of Coburg City Oval. Ethan Hope. But Sayers did well to later tackle. Glenroy again go inside 50. It's 1-on-1 steal. And Carruthers steal gets it for Tulla. Goes with the switch towards the broadcast side. They can raffle it between 2, but the bounce didn't favour either of those Tullamarine boys. Hand pass came all the way back to Heath Woodhouse. Has to get around one tackler. Did. Goes with the right foot ball towards the boundary line. The kick was overcooked for Hillston. Out of play, centre wing.
And again, Glenroy look a little bit more settled that time. The ball bounced in between the 2 Tullamarine players who probably didn't attack it quite hard enough. The ball's bounced in the favour of the Glenroy player there who flicks it back to the Woodhouse. Kick wasn't any good though, and he's just been falconed in the ruck. That's quite funny.
It was a quite funny mocker indeed. The shadows are getting longer here at Coburg City Oval as Borg goes up towards half forward. The kick wasn't great. Sayers was there for Tullamarine. Gets the left foot ball high into the middle. There was no one there. And underneath it, trying to read it, was Alistair Collins. Faulkner did well as well, but lost the ball. But Coppolis has been quite good when the ball's gone near him.
Oh, look out.
Inside 50, the ball was just sat perfectly for Horvat, but the ball just bounced away from him at the last moment. Hillston got himself involved again. Hand pass to Baker. Goes with the switch across the face, and there's a whistle. The way that Collins attacked that, it was like there was a whistle. I think it was a
silly tackle there by Horvat. Just held him far too long, and the Glenroy player on the other side of the ground, Collins, probably would have given away a deliberate punching the ball out on with no pressure on him, but he gets a free kick instead.
Short kick for Campbell's no good. It goes out of play. Throw in 55 out.
And this is not helping either side. Their inability to be clean with their skills. If either of these sides are to come up into Premier Division, that's going to be the first thing that will be exposed. If you can't be clean by hand and by foot, pretty much 9 times out of 10, turnovers pretty much result in a goal every time.
We're nearly halfway through this last quarter. Tulla need a goal. We've said it for a couple of minutes now. They need it now. Here's a chance. If you can pick it up, John Tate gets the right foot.
Oh, my advantage. Brilliant goal. The umpires play the advantage. Well done, Johnny Tate. Fantastic. As you said, Adam, he's got down low. He picked the ball up. He sort of kicked it to himself, stepped around one player. As he kicked it, he topped this bit of a high tap there on the shoulder, and he was good enough to keep going through with a kick and kick the goal. The umpires paid the advantage, as all good umpires do, and Johnny Tate's ran back to the centre now. He's having a bit of a deep breath. Gets a little bit of a low 5 clap there. And Adam, what's that scoreboard read? My eyes aren't as good as yours.
7-12, 60 Tullamarine, 11-12, 78 Glenroy. So as if right on cue, One man that has been threatening all day to throw this game open in John Tate kicks his first goal. We're back in the middle. Hillston's been quite good the longer the game's gone. Now Dennis got the handball from Morrison. Had some space, had some time, but didn't use the ball wisely. Went to half forward and it's up for grabs now again in the shades of the trees. Caberas lays the tackle, ball up.
Yeah, no, look, really good football there by the Glenroy boys. Right to flick it around the back. Morrison with a handball in there. Good work by Johnny Tate locking the footy in.
Campbell has got that tape around his head from an earlier incident in the game. Hillston's kick was partially smothered. Now Foot, he's tried to go down the line. It's heading toward the boundary line. It's picked up though by Burns, who's been on and off the ground a lot today. Good tackle was laid there for Glenroy though, and Scaberas over the top for Dennis. He had a man in the middle there in Campbell. Picks it up now. Goes bang up towards half forward. It's up for grabs and read it well. And the Demons again can take their breath. They're down by 3.
Just goes long with that kick into the side of the centre corridor there, but no one there for Tullamarine on that occasion.
He rushed it. Joe Sayers took the mark there. And look at the numbers for Glenroy here. He's gone to half forward. Julick will take the mark. And he's got a man out wide. So Glenroy can really punish Tullamarine here. It's Alistair Collins with the shot. Cross the face. Hope can't take the mark. Minor score for the 46ers. 11-13, 79. Tullamarine 8-12.
The old saying of attack is the best form of defence in this particular instance seems to be paying dividends as they're the 19-point leaders at this particular instance of the game. Sayers kicks in out to the outside of the ground.
And that could be a very important point in the context of this one. Julick on the ends of it. He's been threatening all day. Travis Julick, left foot to the top of the square and getting a hand on it. Daly, another minor score for Glenroy. For 11-14, 80. They're now leading by 28, 12-60.
Faulkner kicks to himself and goes wide out on the outer side of the ground to a big set of massive players out that side.
And again, yeah, as we saw yesterday and today, a lot of the ball going towards our outer side. It's the way to play here at Coburg City Oval. It's in the hot spot for Glenroy, but coming away with it is Laurie. And look at this kick. It's a wonderful kick for Strugnall. He couldn't take the mark, but had time to recover. Inside 50. Becker's down there as well as Scott. Becker gets a fist on it. Is that deliberate out of bounds? No, throw in.
Great play there by Strugnall there in that particular instance. He got the awkward bounce, was able to gather the footy and under immense pressure was able to kick the footy really quickly and get it inside forward 50. Well done, Glenroy defence, killing the ball as well.
16 minutes in front of the player race. Cronin got tackled as soon as he got the ball. No free kick and ends up coming out for Sayers. High one, underneath it, Collins. Up against Simmons. Simmons got front position, gets the ball and he got claimed straight away. Laurie came for support.
Good bump.
Ball eluded him though. Delaney gets it out. Now Simmons. Little left foot chipper ball. Bacopoulos went over his head. It'll go through. Boundary throw in the end.
Yeah, good play there by the Tullamarine Footy Club on that particular instance. He was trying to hit the lead up forward, and that's the way to kick goals at Coburg. You've either got to be really direct from kicking them in the corridor or can hit a lead up forward. Bacopoulos wasn't quite tall enough or couldn't jump high enough to catch it on that instance.
Now 17 minutes have ticked by. It's prelim final footy on Sunday. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon. Happy Father's Day out there to all the dads listening on 98.9 Northwest FM as Tate gets wrapped up in a tackle. Ball up still inside 50 for Tullamarine.
Strong play there by Johnny Tate again, trying to crash through. Really good tackle there again by the Glenroy defenders.
Just getting choked up in that 450 the Demons, and it goes out of play again.
Morrison jumped really high there and went to punch the footy, but the ball sort of got caught in his elbow region and it sort of just slingshotted out. I think we've gone about 17.5 minutes at him. Maybe it's an unassailable lead at this time with probably about 10 minutes left in this quarter.
They need a goal in the next couple of minutes, that is for sure. Another one just about puts the final nail in the coffin. There's a chance here for Glenroy to come away because they've been good on the break throughout this second half. Underneath it, Daly. Now he's on top of it. Now there's a player on top of him. Ball up.
And again, all the players are in the Tullamarine half of the ground. There's a few just drift just near the centre circle. But, 36 players in one half of the ground again.
Woodhouse got a fresh airy. Scaberas has been quite good today. Sets up Borg through the corridor. A little kick out wide. That's not going to be enough. Read it beautifully. And he's going to chase out his own fist and has to get his topple the Glenroy player down behind play as well as Hinnan goes inside 50. Strugnall's there at the fall of it. Bounced off his shin. No room to work with. Tackle laid on Colin Laurie as well. Umpire calls for a bounce. And a few trainers ran out onto the ground to check that Glenroy player, but I think it's all good. There's no player down now. And play resumes. Adam Scott won the tap. There's a tripping free kick here for Glenroy.
I think he's paid like a kicking in danger maybe, but or unduly rough play, whatever it is. It's a free kick to Glenroy. Look, they've done all the attacking in this particular instance. They've been clean for 2 or 3 of their possessions, which has allowed them the opportunity to get the ball forward. What they haven't been able to do is be pure all the way through when they've turned the footy over. That's given Tullamarine the opportunity to score as they go wide. Oh, an intercept mark. He's kicked into the man on the mark.
That could be very costly for Glenroy. Inside 50, Borg has to read it and didn't. Ball eluded him in the air. Baker gets it, kicks it to the contest. A lot of plays in the centre square here, but Julik takes the mark, and now might be the time for Glenroy to start slowing things down a little bit.
Goes wide again.
Another goal makes it almost impossible for Tullamarine. That's a good mark taken out there by Collins. True centre wing, out of side, up towards Woodhouse at half forward. Just keeps presenting. Heath Woodhouse has been very good today, as usual.
That's 3 now kicks in a row they've been able to hit a target with. If they can do this one, they'll get a shot on goal.
Lead came from Morrison. Ball went over his head, but in his direction, inside 50. Tulla had 2 players there to deal with. Ball just trickles back out. It's going to end up back with Woodhouse. Had to go back by hand. And now they can look inboard. Collins gets around one tackler. Gets on the right foot. Inside 50. Over the head. Hilston's there. He's kicked in 1 goal already in this last quarter. This time he lays the tackle. Cronin there as well. We're in the shades there in the goal square. Tulla got their hands on the ball. The hand pass not all that great though. Here's a chance for Hilston, and he misses. In fact, it'll be played. It's a mark. He was only about 25 out. Didn't make the distance, and the mark is taken right in the pocket. I think it might be Ethan Hope. He's on a very, very tough angle if he does have the shot. Wants to go inboard. No, it is Ethan Hope that has got it. He's on the boundary line. And if he kicks his goal, Matty O'Connor, it might just be...
Oh, he's gone inside. Dangerous kick, but he reckon he's found Borg there. And, it just opens up the angle, but it also runs time off the clock. 19 points. This will stretch it out to about 25, if my maths is correct, thanks to the Catholic Regional College in Camperdown. And I reckon he's going to kick this goal. If he's not, he's just going to run as much time down off the clock, because he's gone off a Kirtley Ambrose, Malcolm Marshall kind of run up here as well on this 45-degree angle in front of the swimming pool.
So we're into time on. The prize is a spot against the Northern Saints in the Division 1 Grand Final, and Borg is not going to settle the score with that one. Doesn't make the distance. Still inside 50, inside the hot spot for Glenroy, and Tulla are going to lock it up. One thing they can ill afford is any kind of score now. They're trailing by 20. We've played 21 and a half minutes into the final term. Umpire throws this one up in the air. So many players around this ball. It's heading for the boundary line, and it finds it. Forward pocket.
Some really, really tired boys there trying to get off the ground. It's really difficult with the play being on the other side of the ground. 1 and 2, the fact that to get off the ground you need a rest and you're already tired, so to work this far over is difficult as well. Boundary throw-in takes place.
Adam Dennis has just come on for Glenroy. Tulla get that all-important clearance, and the bounce favoured him as well. Ball ends up on the outer wing. It's only one man forward for them, and that's Bacopoulos, but Glenroy have got it. They've got numbers in the corridor here. Woodhouse. Ball was just slightly overcooked for him. Makitic under pressure. Strugnell got him high. Free kick, Glenroy.
No, you can't duck if you're already on the ground as well. He's played on quickly there, Makitic. Teo.
And he goes long from outside 50 to about 25 metres out. Ball off hands, cleared by Tullamarine. The runner's got to get out of the way. Tulla player drifting in here. Looks like he's going to get a hold of the ball. Smith now caught in a tackle. Well played there by the man Scabaris. He now comes in, tries to win his own ball. Teammate instead. Julich comes through. Hands off. Kick around the corner. Bouncing from Hope inside 50 again. Fierce tackle. Tullamarine man stripped and will go long to the square. Danny Campbell. It slides across the face and it is marked and cleared out. The back line can tell you guys that Werribee 94 lead Essendon VFL 67. That's great news for Aberfeldy.
They've got the box seat in that Premier Division Premiership race as well. 2 others beating Greenvale yesterday at Highgate. Ball at half forward for Tulla. First time in a while they've gone forward, and again it just amounts to nothing. They've not been able to penetrate inside 50 in this last quarter.
Yeah, we made mention in the second quarter about how unorganised or disorganised their forward line sort of structures were. Bacopoulos has sort of really tried hard to present, but it's been no good. Another turnover.
20 points the margin. Tullamarine ball in the centre of the ground. 23 minutes gone. Running out of time here because they need 4 unanswered goals, and they have only kicked 8 for the day. Ball up off hands. Strugnell gets it down, now round the corner for Tulla. Glenroy man's there at half-back, gets collared for his trouble, and it's well taken there. And going back over his mark, McShane. He kicks round the near side wing. Scaberis doesn't have the sit, going back with the flight. Couldn't quite take it. Smith for Tulla. And it's going to be his free kick. And almost the sting out of this one. Almost now, as time's ticking away on the Demons season here in the prelim final. Goes to the top of the 50. Not quite marked on the first grab, but no one able to get a hand in. And holding up play there is Gilliland.
There's a bit of Leo Barry-Star about that.
Yeah, a little bit of dejected Tullamarine forward line there. That was one of their better opportunities to mark a ball, and no one could get near him to spoil.
Gilliland goes wide, and it is off hands. No, boundary umpire is right there and says out of bounds on the full. Gentlemen, just for the paper, I've said that the best three are Campbell, Woodhouse and Carruthers for Glenroy, and Tate, Laurie and Doyle for Tulla. Have a think about that and give me some input before the end of this game.
Yeah, I'm liking the way Sayers has gone about things as well for Tullamarine, if you can fit him in there somewhere as well. Marcy's been a bit quiet as well. Done a lot of running around but hasn't been getting much of the footy.
So Glenroy are just about there as Hope goes with the high ball.
Good
Woodhouse
mark,
just keeps getting better the longer this one goes.
Yeah, look, Heinen was close checking there but wasn't able to close down the space in enough time. Lance needs to come from the edge of the boundary there, but he's directing his charges and asking him to go across the other side of the ground.
Ball held up in the wind beautifully there, and the mark is taken for Glenroy by Julick.
Yeah, look, the move of Julick forward has been a real match winner for them. He's given them some structure and allowed them to go through him on many, many occasions today.
They're clearly going for the icing on the cake here, Glenroy, as Faulkner goes short. Now they're hovering around 50. Scaberas takes the mark.
And they've been good with their 2 or 3 kicks to this point in time, and it's the last entry that's been the interesting one.
Here they go inside, almost the mark taken for Baker. Has to go back to the man that gave it to him, Collins. One wave and the other, got around the tackler, Collins. Now he's got another tackler to deal with. He almost bit off more than he could chew. Kick didn't go far at all. In the end, Delaney, Simmons and Tulla going to come out cross off halfback.
So 20 points still the gap. 25 and a half minutes gone. Ball long, whistle goes with the ball in the air. It's going to be a Tullamarine free kick, so they might be half a chance here.
The Glenroy bloke thought he had the free kick there, but he was actually facing the wrong way, so it makes it a bit hard to pay it for you. But
a bad bounce here has allowed Glenroy to get plenty of players back before the free kick here for Scott. He goes long, inside forward 50 to no one in particular. Glenroy's got the sit, front spot, mark taken. And they will get themselves out of trouble once again.
Cronin, he's been really good today. He's been a solid contributor in the midfield, and he's worked back into defence and helped out on a few times.
And his goal got the biggest cheer of the day at the start of the last quarter. That team lifter sparked 3 goals in 9 minutes, which has ultimately decided this contest.
And they are just milking time now with the sideways kicking and the pushing the footy back, and they've gone forward on this particular instance. But again, it's a fairly short pass, Cronin.
And he's got 2 players out on the half-back flank.
There it is.
There's the siren. Glenroy through to the grand final. They'll meet the Northern Saints next Sunday at Windy Hill. And promotion will be on the line. They've done it against the scoring end in the final quarter. 11-14-80 to Tullamarine 8-12-60.
Yeah, look, the game was there for the Tullamarine Footy Club to win it, but on this particular occasion, Glenroy have just come out and decided that, okay, we can't kick goals with the wind, so we better do it into the wind, and they've done a great job in this last quarter, kicking a few goals there. I'll get you boys to figure out exactly how many it was, but they've done really, really well, and they've been able to win the game. So well done there to the Glenroy Footy Club, kicking what looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4 goals in the last quarter.